This is like one of the most common coaching questions that Elaine and I ask. People will come to us and kind of pour their heart out. I did this and this and this, and say, okay, well, that's a lot of different stuff. Like, what have you done that's been most successful? Oh, one time I bought this triplex and I flipped it and I doubled my money in a week. Oh, awesome. Could you do that twice? Could you do that three times? If you did only that and nothing else, how much wealth would you have? Is it possible for you to reproduce that outcome? Next, what is the most dollars per hour you have ever made? I kind of use some deliberately simple like English there. Like we think a lot about our time in terms of dollars per hour. Time and money can be interchangeable units of measure. That's just how Western culture, American culture works. And it's a great way to understand, are you using your time effectively, or is this something that you should leverage out? And if you're listening to this call, there's a good chance that your time is quite valuable. Elaine had the chance to moonlight and take on extra shifts and earn a pretty extravagant wage, far more per hour than I could make as a technologist. And she took advantage of that when it mattered most. And then we snowballed that into our investments. What is the most dollars per hour you've ever made, and how can you do more of that? Can you do only that thing? Can you stop doing all these other things where you're making half or a third or a tenth as much per hour? You could also ask the opposite question: is when are you making the least amount per hour? Are you mowing your own lawn? Are you scrubbing your own toilets? Are you clearing your own snow if you live in a snowy climate like ours? Not that our climate's very snowy this year. Next, where do you need to double down in your investing? What relationships, what investing relationships have been the most successful investing relationships you've ever had? And where do you need to lean into those relationships and get an even better outcome than you've ever gotten before? Next, are there any Tamagotchis that you are tending to right now? Or is there an STR in the Smokies? Is there a beach house in Florida or in Texas that you are that's eating your lunch right now that you need to get off your plate? It's an interesting mixed metaphor. That actually works. So that's pretty good. If you're in any age coaching program, talk to her about that, or you can block time on my calendar. Happy to give you 15 minutes of my time. What can we do to help you get those Tamagotchis? They're eating your lunch off your plate. I'm gonna run with that. And then finally, how old are you versus your net worth goal? Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself.